The breaking news of the day is that the US stock market continues to fall at what appears to be an accelerating pace. Today, Monday, March 10th, the stock market opened up another full percentage point lower than last week, which already saw massive declines. And so far, the S&P is down about 8% in this latest drawdown. And since the election back in November, the stock market is now actually negative. And I think that is something very few people could have anticipated, because originally Trump was viewed as a very pro-business, pro-market president, wanting to do things like cut regulations and taxes. It's just that at the same time, it's becoming clear now that Trump wants to completely rework how the US economy functions. And that understandably has a lot of people very concerned. And Trump himself, during an interview, said that he cannot rule out the possibility of a recession, saying that this reconfiguring of the US economy could cause short-term pain in exchange for long-term prosperity, according to him. And to quantify this, right here is the equation for GDP. It's composed of consumption, investment, government spending, and net exports. And if we look at this one section at a time, when it comes to consumer spending, so far, these policies have largely had a negative impact here, causing consumer confidence to decrease, mostly due to the uncertainty and the potential of price increases. When it comes to domestic investment, of course, here Trump wants this to increase. And in all fairness, we have seen some large announcements of companies increasing their investment in America. But at the same time, it is unclear if this is directly because of the current administration's policies or if it was going to happen anyway. Next, we have government spending, and here, obviously, the Trump administration is trying to downsize government with initiatives like DOGE. And then the final piece of the puzzle is net exports. And here, with the tariffs, of course, we are trying to eliminate this deficit, increasing domestic manufacturing, and ultimately having a better trade balance. So at a high level, this is the strategy. This is how the Trump administration is trying to reconfigure the US economy. We are actively decreasing some things like government spending, consumer confidence, while trying to increase other things like investment and net exports. And the net effect on GDP, whether we go up or down, it's very much up in the air. And that's why we have all these fears around a looming possible recession. The Trump administration is hoping that these policies have the effect of increasing domestic manufacturing, reducing trade deficits, increasing our self-reliance. But at the same time, it's very possible that instead of getting these benefits, things essentially backfire, and manufacturing, instead of moving back to the United States, just moves to other third-party nations. This wouldn't increase domestic investment, a key pillar of GDP, and instead would just leave us with higher inflation. And of course, all of these policy changes could hurt America's relationship with some of its closest allies, and long-term, that could have unknown ramifications.